Shalom, people. This is Brother Lyles coming at you with another video. And it does my heart good to see what's going on in the sports world with Kwame Brown and his monologue against the sports talk world, which, if you really understand anything about professional sports, if you read the fine print, you'll find most of it will state that it is entertainment, meaning it's part of the machine. Also, it's unfortunate because the Most High has blessed us with the athletic ability that in order for you to make a living, or for you to display your athleticism, you have to submit yourself to the machine. If you really want to get ahead, you can see it in every sports arena: football, basketball, baseball, soccer, whatever. And you can see how they're almost becoming interchangeable. You can look at the governorship of Arnold Schwarzenegger, who used to be a professional bodybuilder. You can look at Jim Brown, who was a NFL running back, becoming an actor. And you can look at Bill Bradley, who was an NBA all-star, who became a senator. And the list goes on and on and on. And so Kwame Brown, I have to admit, I didn't know a lot about Kwame Brown, because around the time that he came out, I kind of started losing interest in professional basketball. I knew that he was a high schooler. That was about the extent, because like I said, I just stopped really following NBA basketball like that, unless they got into the playoffs and it was some team that I liked. I kind of lost interest. I do remember off and on, whenever I would watch ESPN, about them talking about him being the #1 draft pick and not being that good. But that's the extent. I didn't know that he was from Georgia, from basically the same, well, let me take that back. He was born in Charleston, but where he lived at in Brunswick, I didn't know that was the case, because my wife has a lot of family. My wife's from Georgia, and she has a lot of family down in that area. So that kind of shows you the extent that I knew. But as I was following this a little bit, with him talking about Stephen A. and some of these other athletes who became part of the sports talk universe, and it's multiple sports talk people out there on TV, YouTube. I mean, it's its own industry. So obviously, Kwame Brown is not gonna destroy the sports talk universe, but he is putting a spotlight on what drives the profits on sports talkers is basically, like he stated, degrading black athletes, male athletes, and sometimes females too. And so, what does this mean to me? Ultimately, I think the Most High is wanting us to understand that it is what it is. It's entertainment. Just like I was talking about the Kevin Samuels thing with him being a relationship image guru. It's up to the individual that watches these people to turn it off. And it's up to us who say that we are born again, whether we say we're born again Christian, born again Hebrew, whatever. It's up to us to live such a life that people would want something different. It's up to us to do this. When Yeshua comes back, not the third time, but the second time, when he comes back the second time to this earth, he's not going to ask the Antichrist and the false prophet and the devil, can he rule? He's gonna do excuse me, a body slam on the false prophet and the Antichrist and cast him into the lake of fire. And then he's gonna get his angels to take Satan and cast him into the bottomless pit for 1,000 years. He's gonna do what? Excuse me, pollen. He's gonna display power. And so that's what ultimately I'm asking the Most High, y'all help me to display power. Display power in my everyday life. He's not calling you to to change the world. He's calling you to affect the sphere of influence that you have around you. Your wife, your kids, your family members, your friends. He's calling you to do that. And that's what's so persuasive about Kwame Brown's argument against these guys. He said, I was living my ordinary life that I have been living since I got out the NBA. I wasn't bothering you, but I was doing my thing. And now here you, who's supposed to have influence in all these arenas, you're gonna let me, who you've been dragging and talking down to about all these years, who just been living my life, ain't been doing nothing, you're gonna let me come up with my ordinary life, with my quote-unquote loser life that you said, and influence all these people that's been listening to you for years. See? And I remember, and of course, it's a lot of, language that he uses that a lot of people don't like, using the N-word and everything like that. He get his point across, so be it. Like I said, I don't have a dog in the fight because, again, I don't listen to sports talk or any of that stuff like I used to a long time ago, because I can't understand that it's entertainment. But Kwame Brown and other athletes do make their livelihood off of it. And since the sports talk arena has been casting a negative image on something that the majority of black males try to do to make a living, which is to play sports, I guess the message is important that that he's saying, look, I took it as a job, like it should be. I finished my time, whether or not you like me or not. I finished my time up. I didn't get in trouble, and I beat the odds with the kind of upbringing I had, and that's what's important to me. And And so when he's saying these things and he's talking about all the things that they put up about him are false, and he's bringing receipts and facts, I'm like, man, this is pretty refreshing, you know, to see it. And he said he's 39, which, you know, that's still, you know, not old, but then it's not young neither. But he's coming from a person that's been through it and is still yet maturing. And I think he's doing a very good job against some of these guys. I think he's doing a good thing, pointing out the hypocrisy of the sports and entertainment world, period, when you get into that arena. Unfortunately, what he's saying is going to have a momentary effect, but over time, the money and everything that people cast at other people, the Bible said iniquity is going to abound. So don't think that for the moment that it's gonna change sports talk and they're gonna stop doing what they're doing. No, they're not. The only way it will stop is if you don't get into that universe and let them affect you. See, that's the thing. Whenever the Exodus or whatever is supposed to happen, whenever it happens, and we go off into whatever land it is that we're gonna go off to, if, and I use the word if at all there will be any sports league, if there'll be any time for athletic prowesses to be displayed, do you not think that the same thing will go on even without the influence of the media here in America? The media over wherever we go, it will probably still be the same way. You understand? And so what it entails is, if you want things to be better, either you're gonna start your own sports leagues and have a certain code of conduct and everything, or not. But where I see it, if it was a system that we are just recreating that they had, when the Most High come back, he's gonna destroy that too, because it's not gonna be compatible, I believe, with the kingdom of the Most High Yah. I don't think it's gonna be compatible, because we're gonna, when Yeshua come back, we're gonna be too busy trying to redo this earth, plant crops, fix some of the issues, get our families right. We're gonna be too consumed, us that can and will make it into the kingdom. We're gonna be too consumed with that. And so again, right now, yes, our people are making money off of it and they're part of it. And it's like I said, some people say it's time for it to be cleaned up. I'm telling you, as things get worse and worse, some of these things that we're looking at is gonna fade off into the sunset anyway. As things get worse, I mean, you already see it with the NBA, NFL. Now, of course, there's this momentary exhilaration since the inoculation has gone for the pandemic, that people are saying happy days are here again, and people gonna be back, you know, into going to sports arenas and stuff. And there has been a pickup, but I just feel something is on the horizon that's gonna make all this stuff go away. And what shall be the end of those that made their living like that? You're already seeing when the sports attendance went down, where they had a lot of these athletes, and I had said this to my wife, I said a lot of these athletes that's not playing or you know, or whatever, they're gonna have to toe the line and promote this jab. And that's exactly what a lot of them did. They stopped promoting this jab because it's part of that entertainment. It's part of the it's part of the kingdom of the Antichrist. The Antichrist kingdom has been here. The spirit of the Antichrist has been here. when you read in the Maccabees, what it talks about our people getting mixed up into the Greco-Roman sports even back then. So this is nothing new. Now you would say, well, did the Most High give us these athletic abilities not to display them? I think he gave us really these athletic abilities. If we had been a nation, that we would have used them in our military. You know, for our men, you had the strongest, fastest, highest jumping people in your military defending your nation. But since we was not a nation and we was already, that became like an army for us. For those that didn't join the oppressor's military, he would join his sports team. And even a lot of our soldiers, when they join the military, before they start letting them fight alongside their troop, the white troops, they would have them doing what? Playing sports. Remember a soldier story? What was that about? That was about an army unit whose job during World War II was to play baseball. You understand? So all of it kind of goes hand in hand. But again, it's good though that the Most High is he'll use whoever that he's I believe he's putting a spotlight on the evilness of this, the sports talk and talk radio in general. So again, I don't, like I said, I don't have a dog in the fight because I don't follow sports like I used to. But it's still good to see him stand up and tell these people off and to shake them up. The power of one person, he's shaking them up with, and his arguments are solid. And if you go past his channel, you're seeing where he's getting hundreds of thousands of views and likes, and some of the things that he said, does make sense. Now, of course, you have to be able to filter through the language that he uses, but he's not claiming to be Apostle Paul or any religious person, so we'll take it with a grain of salt. But it's good to see a young black man that can make argument for himself, and like I say, he's really touching the nerve and exposing the inner enemy, how we can end up being our own worst enemy sometimes. So with that, I'm going to end this video and ask you to give it a thumbs up. I ask you to leave a comment. I ask you to like, and I want you to share. Be blessed.